This year will probably be one of the toughest years of our married life. We're going to do our very best to get out of debt, at least as much as we can this year. As you know, I'm 64 and my husband's already 67. And like most America, we still have some debt. And you cannot live on Social Security with any kind of debt. And more than likely, if you don't have a good retirement, you're going to have to work part time. I started drawing my Social Security at 62, and I'd hoped that year I could have put up a lot and got out of debt with that little bit I made. I didn't draw as much as my husband does now, and I wasn't really able to put up a lot. There was a lot of medical expense going on. At least we were able to pay for a lot of it, but it's kind of down to the nitty gritty now. He is having to work an extra year till he's 68 full time just so that I can have insurance. Plus, we still have a little too much debt for him to quit, and I hate that. He, thankfully, his job is not real physical, but he it's very stressful, and it is in retail, so it's if anyone's ever worked retail knows what that's like. So I do worry about him. I hated to give up my job. I wanted to come home and be a homemaker, but as you know, I had to leave to care for my dad, who's going to turn 97 this year. And so that kind of put a damper on getting out of debt with my income last year. So we had to live off of my Social Security. Thankfully, in October, my husband was full retirement age. I started drawing before full retirement age because we were hoping it would help us get out of debt, and it just didn't. But we're bare bones. I've heard people talk about bare bones and budgeting, and that's what we're having to do now. This month, January, we've had a little money we had to put up for an upcoming medical procedure, and we got that put up. We've worked to do that, and we will have a major bill paid off hopefully by the end of this month, which is like $300 a month. So that's going to help a lot. So our goal is to basically take that $300 a month plus my Social Security, and we would live off my husband's paycheck plus his Social Security. And I'm hoping to be able to save some from it. And that's where it's going to come in with me working harder even more to try to cut cost at home. And that is my job to do that. He's at work. He doesn't do the cooking. He doesn't do the shopping. I've got to do better about shopping the sales and going on the days that they have. Certain stores have a senior day where you save a little bit, and these stores that have their meat, some of their meats, 5 packages for $20. I've got to do better at getting to those stores in the week and getting what I need and not going as often. So what our plans are is I plan on putting up $500 a month of my Social Security into savings. So by the end of the year, we will have $6,000 saved just from that. Not nearly enough, but we do have a very small IRA that's going to help a little bit, as long as we don't have to touch it, maybe. And the rest that I make, plus the $300, will be going slashing our credit card debt. Most of our credit card are smaller bills, and we just have been paying minimum payments on a lot of the smaller ones because I wanted to try to get the larger ones paid down. So I doubled up on that back in the past 3 months, and that's helped a lot. So, and I've just heard that I believe the president is going to knock interest rates down on credit cards to 10%, and that would be the law for 1 year. I'm not sure if that's real or not, but that would be very helpful to me, and I'm sure most of the country who has any credit card at all. I hope that's true. I don't know what the repercussions would be on other things, but everything is so high. I remember when my children were, I was raising them. Every 2 weeks, I'd go get groceries when I got paid, and I felt like I was really lucky to get out of there under $100, and that was in the '80s and early '90s. And then it's kind of slowly progressed. I was lucky to get out of there under $200, and now it's under $3. That's terrible. But we have room. I have room to cut because I've thought of some ways to do that. And we're going to have this winter a little bit more soups. My dad doesn't care for things like that, so it's really difficult to try to cook for someone that's that age, plus ourselves. But I always take him on his grocery store event. We go there on Wednesdays to get the things he needs for his breakfast and supper, which is usually sandwiches. And I provide his lunch during the week. And my sister brings him a meal over once a week. And my brother will pick him up something once a week. So the rest of the time is up to me. On Sundays, I usually cook something that is enough for 2 days. And I do that before I go to Sunday school and church. So it's pretty tough doing that. But I get him a plate to him before we go. And then usually the meat or some part of it, I'll have enough for the next day. And I just have to do maybe a vegetable to go with it. And that works out great. But I'm going to start doing some meal prep. I've got the items to make a meatloaf with. I use like the white turkey, which is cheaper than beef. And it's like $7, or I think at Walmart 6 something for a package. So I'll have to get that there. And the other meats I'll be getting at the other grocery store on a Tuesday or a Thursday where it's 5% less. And I can get pork chops and bottom round steak for 5 packages for $20. If it was just me and my husband eating right now, it'd be a lot less, but it's not. My youngest son comes and eats with us about 5 lunches a week. He doesn't live here, but he works with my husband. So at lunchtime, he'll come here and eat, and which I'm fine with that because I love to see him. And I just take my dad something. So cutting that is my first priority, is the food bill. I'm getting my pantry back in order. Right before the holidays, it got kind of a wreck during the holidays. And so I can see what I need, and that way I can kind of catch the sales. There's some things like at Dollar General, it's cheaper when I go on Saturday to get the 5 off 25. I've got to go back to doing that. During the holidays, it kind of gets you thrown off if you're buying a few gifts and things like that for your family. But now it's time to get back to work, or there won't be a holiday this coming year, because this year will be, if my husband can continue to work through the end of the year. In December, I'll turn 65. Well, when that happens, right now we don't pay our health insurance. His employer pays it for us, which is a wonderful blessing, but it's not that great of an insurance. We have huge deductibles and copays. And right now I have no medical debt, and I just have the money put up for that procedure coming up in March. And come December, though, we'll be on Medicare, A, B, and then we'll have to get a supplemental, which will take out my whole Social Security check. It's like I won't even have it. That's sad, isn't it? So I quit my job, which was only part-time, and I could have kept, it was a little library. It was very easy to do. I hated to leave that job, but I really didn't have a choice. I wasn't going to live another year trying to keep up the house and all that goes with that, and go to work it was 4 days a week, and care for my dad. So I had to give it up, and I just really hated that I had to. because it would have helped us get out of this a lot quicker. I didn't mean to start that. But anyway, it's just bare bones. I don't even know. With the groceries is one thing. You do the best you can with that. I told my husband we're going to start having a couple meatless meals a week, because I don't even care for it that much anyway, but they like it. But with beans, you can have protein with your beans. Hopefully we'll have some pretty weather soon. I get back to hanging my laundry out on my little mini line, because our utilities went up in December, and I think it's probably because we had a few Christmas lights out front, and that's a shame. But when I used to pay for gas, our gas bill and our electric bill used to be $150 a month combined on an average. And that was pre-COVID. Now it is all I can do to keep it under $300. It's double. And I don't understand, because fuel prices went down, so it makes no sense. But the lights in the wintertime, I love candles, so we're going to start lighting the candles again and leaving them on the table or in the bathroom, where we'll just have to use candlelight a lot of time, and try to save as much as we can with that. So you got your groceries, your electricity. I have a gas oven and gas heater in the house. I don't travel much, so I don't burn up a lot of gasoline in the car. We go to church and to the grocery store, basically. And I've been trying to, we're going to have a little garden again this year, but this year we're wanting to buy a little, some of those little metal things that go on above the ground, so it'd be easier for me to work in them. They had some smaller size for like $30 and $40. We thought about getting a couple of those, because you have that one expense at once. Because what we're planning on doing is each month trying to buy something that we need that we're not going to be able to get once we're retired. We need a mattress set so bad. And we've had it since 1997. I think even some of the metal has come up on one side of it, the spring. So we're going to get that. And they're so expensive, so you got to look around. We don't get anything fancy. And I need a laptop. My iPad it's all it can do to charge. I'm using a $120 smartphone now. So I have, my little stand is a $5 something I got from Hobby Lobby. So yeah, that's about it for the videos. But there's a lot of ways. I've done it before, and I can do it again. When the boys were young, man, we just cut any which way we could. And because it's do or die. This is it now. We don't have any more time. So people, get out of debt now. Don't wait well, we tried to do it sooner, but it just seemed like it's one thing after another. We have 2 old cars, so we still live in our starter home, which we paid $43,000 for back in 1989. And our cars are a 2003 Jeep Wrangler and a 2015 Jeep Patriot. There's no extras on them. I don't like extras. I just soon have I do like power door locks, but I'd much rather have things that just hand roll up and all that, because I'm old school. But we're just going to we don't do much. Our happy time is going to Sonic and getting a happy hour Coke. And that's the half price. That's our fun. I don't pay for cable or anything like that. We have the antenna that gets us a free. My son has a few channels, and he has signed us up to get those. A couple are free. I have Amazon Prime, which I don't even know if I need that anymore, to be honest with you. We never watch anything on it. And he has it, so we can just watch his. It's not a big deal. So we don't watch that much TV anyway. We actually watch reruns every night of certain funny shows. So we can't really cut much more on that. About down there, it's just the grocery bills. Our biggest grocery, electric, and gas are our biggest things that we need to cut on. So Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I rambled enough, but that's what our plans are. So hopefully by the end of the year, I will have be almost debt free. I know that I'm still going to owe something. I know I will, but I'm fearful that we're not going to be able to make it even owing anything, even with him working part time. But this will be good practice for us, and we'll have some savings. So that's our goal. And I guess I'll let you go. I got to go cut my dad's hair, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you.